Look what popped up in my Amazon feed when I was looking for rose pruning gloves. Hi, welcome to another video. So I always want to show you fun things I find online or in stores and innovative ways to use it. And this popped up on my feed and I thought this is really a cute product. Now, there are a lot of sellers on Amazon of this and I've been testing out all these different ones. And of course, I had to show you how to use it in a flower arrangement, especially with Mother's Day around the corner. So let's get started. So this whole arrangement was designed and built around this watering can. It's so cute, and I thought, how are we going to best showcase this? So I thought, well, I wanted to look like a garden style arrangement, so we have to start with the containers. So I went and looked at different containers. I was thinking either like a large galvanized tub or planter box, and I settled on this that almost looks like a farmer's market box of some sort. And of course, it's not watertight, but I like the way it looked. I like the weight, and I think I like that it's large enough to showcase a lot of flowers. So this is just like a wooden crate, like a farmer's crate, in a kind of distressed white. I lined it with polyfoil inside, and then just hid the polyfoil with some moss. And then I have 3 bricks of floral foam in here. It's a pretty heavy arrangement, but I wanted it to be heavy, number one, because I wanted it to support the shepherd's hook. And then I also wanted the flowers to look like they're growing. And that's what we're gonna do today. We're going to use a lot of these beautiful spring, early summer blooms. I still have beautiful ranunculus, anemones, hyacinths, cabbage, all these kind of garden inspired flowers in a fun, bright pastel palette. And all that is just to showcase this really adorable novelty watering can that I love. Now, this watering can comes with the shepherd's hook. I left one section off because it's too tall for our arrangement. But if you were going to use this in the garden, there's another segment so this can go another 6-7 inches taller. And it's pretty easy to put together. You just screw together the different parts of the shepherd's hook. I will definitely send you a link in the description below on this watering can because it's a wonderful gift idea too for Mother's Day. Okay, we're going to start with a cabbage or kale. I bought some beautiful pale green and white kale to use in here. I thought this is so fun. It's such a novelty, right? So I'm going to use the kale in this quadrant right here. I'm not going to green in today because I think that greening in doesn't make sense when you're trying to do a garden style arrangement. So if there's any foam showing after we put all our flowers in, I'm going to just add a little bit of moss to hide the floral foam. I'm just going to add the kale in one section here. And we're going to keep the flowers pretty low so that we can see our cute little watering can. The outer edges of the kale have a little bit of yellow ink, so I'm just cutting it off. And I'm using a grouping style. This is sort of what we call a vegetative arrangement where, you're grouping the same types of flowers together to make it look like they're kind of growing in clusters. I have my kale added here, and then I'm going to add a cluster of these beautiful tulips. These are sort of an orangey coral peony tulip. You see how they're double like that? Gorgeous, isn't it? And it has a little bit of a green striping on the outside. It's a beautiful tulip, and I thought we'd put it right here next to our kale. I like the textures together, and the colors are set off beautifully. These peony tulips are just gorgeous. Look at this with the little baby tulips right next to the larger tulip. And I'm kind of grouping them kind of closely together since I have a lot of floral materials to put in here. today. Here's another one with a little baby tulip too. So I added about 10 stems of the peony tulips here. The next item I'm going to add are these beautiful periwinkle blue lavender hyacinths. We're going to add that right next to the tulips because I think that blue and orange really set each other off. I just want this to be a really exuberant, happy, and fun arrangement that mom would really love. Just really happy and expressive of spring and summer, early summer. This one is, I'm going to have to use a hyacinth stake because they're so, the stems are so fleshy. So hyacinth stakes are just wooden stakes that you could stick inside a hyacinth to help them go into foam. Hyacinths are very hard to put into foam. Let's see if I can get some of this foliage in there as well. Let's try. You don't need the stake to go all the way up the hyacinths necessarily to help it get into the foam. I don't think we can use any of this foliage. It's not going to work in the foam, so I'm just going to take it out. Okay. Now hyacinths come 5 stems to a bunch. And they're wonderful and pretty long lasting. They come all these beautiful colors. My favorite is this blue color, this periwinkle blue. So we're done adding all these beautiful blue hyacinths. It's a little sparse on the bottom because there's no foliage. So I'm just going to add some of these like white feverfew. They look very gardeny, and I think they would be very pretty kind of at the base of the hyacinths, and kind of adds a different texture and hides our floral foam. They would just look like little flowers growing at the base of these larger flowers. It's the little feverfew. And they're really pretty. They're one of my favorites. Have that really pretty garden look. Very natural looking. They're very sweet, these little buttons. I like them. Okay. I'm going to turn this around so you can enjoy what we've put in so far and work on this side. Okay. Now on this side, I'm going to add some beautiful blue anemones on this side. Blue and white anemones. It's going to be really pretty. Anemones have been really popular for wedding, especially the white ones with the black eye. For this, I chose the white anemones with the sort of green-yellow center instead of with the black eye. And then I'm going to add some beautiful pink ranunculus. Look at these beautiful pinky peach ranunculus right here. Aren't these gorgeous? These are my favorite colors. I'm gonna add them next to the cabbage, between the cabbage and the anemones, and next to the hyacinths, near the hyacinths. So pretty. Okay, so we're pretty much done on this side. I'm going to turn it around to show you what it looks like. Here we go. And then we have our last quadrant here. I was thinking a little bit of yellow. I have some pale yellow ranunculus. Aren't these gorgeous? I've not seen such pale yellow ranunculus before. There's, the bright yellow ranunculus, but not the pale yellow. And in the bunch, we have some very light chiffony yellow and a little bit of the stronger yellow, but not very strong. It's still all very pale, lemony yellow, I would say. I think that's really beautiful. This one is so light, it's almost white. I'm gonna go ahead and add that too. And there's all these beautiful side buds, which I love, as you all know. Okay. Let's see if we need a little bit on this side here. Do I have another nice yellow one here? Yeah, I have a nice big yellow one here. I'm going to use. Look at the size of these ranunculus. These are grown in Half Moon Bay, California, which is just south of San Francisco. Okay, pretty much done with putting in our main flowers. Oh, I have a really fun novelty flower that I've never used before as a cut flower that I want to show you. Let me go ahead and put this over here. I bought a bunch of borage this week at Flower Market. Now these flowers are edible, and look at how pretty they are. They're just like these beautiful blue stars. I figured this looks very gardeny and such an interesting material. I was going to buy forget-me-nots, but I didn't find any very good ones. They all look kind of messy. And I saw this. I go, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. This is borage, which is an edible flower, and it's often planted with strawberries because it deters a lot of pests. So if you are growing strawberries organically, you can add a little borage. I figure I'll just add a little bit of this borage right near the yellow anemones because the colors are complementary. This beautiful blue with the yellow I thought would be really pretty together. So this is a new cut flower to me. I mean, I know about borage in the garden, but I never have used it as a cut flower. And it's a little temperamental. And the bunch I bought, most of it is doing great, but a few just kind of wilted. So I don't know why. It's got kind of a hairy, velvety texture to the leaves. So I'm just going to check to see if we have any spots here that need a little bit of moss. Yeah, I see here and there little parts where I can use a little bit of moss. I'm using mountain moss here. That's been just dampened slightly. And so I'm just going to tuck some here and there to finish off our arrangement so we don't see the floral foam. But there's not very much showing because we've got a lot of flowers in here. It's all packed in here without any greenery. Because if I wanted it to look like it's growing out of the crate here, I think it would look strange if I greened it in. So I decided I'm just going to, put a little moss on the foam to cover the areas that are still showing. So we are all done with our beautiful garden planter arrangement featuring this adorable novelty watering can. So there's also a large version of this watering can that I found on Amazon that I liked. I especially like that the lights are sequential, so it looks like the water is coming out of the spout. It kind of chases. And I didn't use this for the arrangement because I think this can is a little large, but this could work really beautifully in the garden. Now, the nice thing about these watering cans, they are all solar powered and they will turn on and off automatically when it's dark or light. I actually have taped over the sensors so that it can light up in the daytime. But I don't know, I'm going to try this in my garden. I think it'd be kind of a fun conversation piece as well. You can obviously do this with potted plants. That would be really cute to actually have real little annuals in here and to showcase this. And of course, this can go inside of your garden pots in the garden after the arrangement is spent. I think this is a wonderful idea for Mother's Day. Like, what mother wouldn't love getting this? So I hope you enjoyed watching me make this arrangement. I really enjoyed using this new novelty product and doing a fun arrangement filled with colorful spring, early summer blossoms. As always, please like and subscribe. Send me a comment to let me know if you actually try this for Mother's Day, and I will see you in my next video.